Hi, guys and gals. Welcome back. And today we're talking about a category of tools I like to call get out of jail free tools. All right. What this is, they're tools that you're not going to probably use every single day. But when you get into, and you know what's going to happen, you're going to get in a jam, you're going to get in a pickle, and you're like, if only I had, and you're like, oh, wait, I do. Or you're going to ignore me, and then you're going to be beating yourself up because you know it will come back to haunt you. You know how this stuff works. All right, first off, we got to talk about the Handee Clamp. Now, the older guys who've been around, you've probably seen these for years. I can remember people, homemade ones in shops and stuff. But this is a father and son company in Iowa. They make these tools. Of course, I'm a little biased. Iowa's my home state, where I grew up. And anyway, it's just a couple pieces of sheet metal, some threaded rod, and a little screw thing on the end. And but you know what? For the price, $24, you can take. How much time is it going to take you to make one of these and get it right? Because you know you're not going to get it right the first time. You're going to have to go back and forth. For $24, support an American-made company. These things are fantastic. Let me show you exactly what this thing looks like and what you can do with it. You take your bolt or your nut. I keep using the wrong terminology. Put it in there. And of course, I'm doing this one-handed. So you put your bolt or nut in there, or whatever it is you want to clamp, and you tighten down on this little sucker here, just like that. And the next thing you know, this thing is going to hold it in place. Look at that. Well, what am I going to use that for? When is this going to come into play? Well, there's lots of situations. Okay, I'll be honest. We've been putting together a bunch of these e-bikes, and there's a lot of times we could have used something like this. But where I thought most about it is, say you're dealing with some closed pipe or something like that, and you've got a situation like this, where you got a hole back there, you got a bolt going in here, and you got to put a nut on the backside. And we've all done this. You're in there, you got one finger in there, you're holding it, you're trying to screw it in. Well, what if it's longer? What if your pipe's coming out from this side? All right, are you going to be able to hold that in there and get your finger all the way down there? No. So you got this. It comes in. Look at that. Anyway, I want to thank Handee Clamp, CNC Handee Clamp, for sending that over there. They reached out to me the other day, and when I found out they're American-made tool, I'm like, sure, I want to look at that. And it's one of the things that you're not going to use it every day, but when you need it, it's going to save the day. All right, now this is another one. Now, I'm not including bolt biters and stuff like the obvious stuff in this, but this one I did want to talk about because a lot of people go back and forth on these. And this is the Van Pliers tool. So this is a set of pliers designed for extracting stripped screws and stuff like that. They have really aggressive teeth on it. They've got wire cutters. It's a made in Japan tool. It's a really well-made tool. I've talked to the people who make this tool. They're really nice folks. $40 though, tad bit pricey for a set of pliers. And a lot of people will tell you, well, don't buy those, just buy this one. This is the engineer plier. This is made in Japan. It's the exact same tool. Pretty sure it's made by the exact same company from what I've seen. What the difference is, and this is what I understand, this is a tool made for the Japanese market, whereas the Van Pliers are made for the US market and have a US warranty. This one is, you'd have to send it back to Japan for warranty, last I heard. If somebody's got different information, put it in the comments down below. By the way, we're going to have links for all this stuff down below in the video description. Anyway, they're great tools, but I'm going to give you a third option because this is all part of the same solution kind of category because these are $20. No warranty, you can buy two of those for the same price as the Van Pliers at $40. But what if there was something in the middle, has a great warranty you can get in the United States, and is made by a really well-known company such as Knipex. And it is Knipex. They sell a shirt, shows you the pronunciation. This should be a done deal. Somebody always comments every time saying that I'm pronouncing that the N is silent. It's not. Don't feel bad if you did. It's just, this one has been finalized. It's put to bed. Anyway, twin grip pliers here. We've talked about this. I can't believe they're still on sale, $33. They're normally $10 more than that. They have almost the exact same teeth alignment there. Very aggressive. The thing that they don't have, these don't have the wire cutter. So if the wire cutter is a big deal for you, then go with the other ones. These are a slip joint though, so allowing you more different solutions. And I think you're also going to get better leverage on this one. I like these because I already have wire cutters, so I don't need a two-in-one solution. But if you do, I get it. But anyway, the twin grips, they're a great solution there. All right, next up, if you've got a home shop, I don't know why you wouldn't have one of these. In fact, I know professionals who, in fact, most professional woodworking shops, I think, would have something like this. I think all the ones I've seen do, and that is something like this. This is allows you to take any kind of hand drill, a corded drill, a cordless drill, chuck it up, and turn it into essentially a drill press. And why is this important? Well, you're working on something, and it could be too large to fit in your drill press. It could be just awkward to get to the drill press. There's a lot of different reasons why getting it to the, taking the work to the tool just isn't going to work. So you need to take the tool to the work. And you know what? It's a crucial hole, and it just has to be perfect. And drilling it freehand, there's a lot of, there's a lot of different hacks and ways to do it. This one's going to get it right every time. You could chuck it up in there. It just does the job. It has presets 90, 75, 60, 45. It gets it right every time. Lots of different uses for something like this. For $38, no more. I mean, come on. How many times have you drilled a hole and it thought it was perfect, and then we're like, it's just off. It's just not going to work. And now you got to scrap that piece. Just for $38, it'll pay for itself. All right, next up, now our friends over at the Torque Test channel, they gave this piece a cameo the other day. And they were testing wrenches, and they showed this one up. People asked about the wrench extender. This is the wrench extender they were showing, okay? Now, they have a link to it in their video. I'm going to use their link down below. So if you purchase this, they'll get the credit for it. I don't know if it's an affiliate link or not, but if it is, they'll get the credit for that one. This is a nice dedicated tool that allows you to put an extender on a wrench and not be just using a pipe or something, or doing that weird, double wrench kind of connection kind of thing. A lot safer, less damage to your tools, better way to do it for $40. Now, that said, I use a different solution that's very similar. And what I use is this. And let me show you how this works. All right, you're working with your wrench, you're wrenching away at something, but you need more leverage. You're gonna put a pipe on it or something like that. You take this device and you get yourself a breaker bar. Now this goes on there, just like this. Now you could use a ratcheting wrench. You can use anything that has a 1/2 inch, or sorry, 3/8, yeah, 1/2 inch adapter on it. You pop it in there, just like that, and then your wrench goes in here, just like that. Look at that. Now you got all the leverage in the world. Need more? Extend it out like that. Look at that. That's why I love this extending breaker bar. This thing's fabulous. This thing is better than a pipe. It's safer than a pipe. It'll get you a grip, and it will, you know what? It'll probably do less damage to your wrenches as well. Well, there, as you can see, it gives you the option of putting a wrench on it because it's got a hex bolt kind of shape to it. It gives you the option of putting a breaker bar, which is what I always do. And that's what I love about it, especially for the home shop. If you are a pro, I could definitely see going this route. Dedicated tool, you just grab it once, you're good to go. With this, you got to grab 2 tools. But this is going to take up a lot less room in your toolbox. You can throw it in a tool bag. You're already going to have the breaker bar. I use it, around the RV here because I have that Queen extended breaker bar I just showed in the video. Makes a great combo together and it's $14. You choose which one you want to get. Go the route you want. The next one up is pretty obvious, and I've talked about this set for a while here, and that is the security bit set. Now, Nico makes this one. There's a lot of other ones that other companies make. Harbor Freight makes one. You can buy them almost anywhere. They're $12. If you don't have one of these in your set, in your toolbox, in your shop, I know what you're doing, because how many times have you been going to fix something and you pull a panel off, or you get in there and you look, and it's like you're looking at the screw going, what the is that? And that's why you need a tool set like this, because more and more you're seeing these kind of security bits, and that's what this has. This has all sorts of stuff. We've got Robertsons, we've got tri-lobes, we've got security hex bits. You've got all the standard bits as well. So it's going to get you, and adapters as on top of that. So this is going to be the set that just pulls you right out of a jam. For $12, it's a no-brainer, okay? Now, next up, this is a set you've probably seen, not really paid attention to. That is the right angle drill adapter. This is a 4-tool in one system here from DeWalt. It's $35. It's not the least expensive thing, but why buy a right angle drill? I mean, I've got a right angle drill. I like using the right angle drill, but the reality is, Harbor Freight sent it to me. I don't know if I would have bought one for myself, unless I had a specific project that was going to require a lot of right angle kind of uses, when I can get something like this for less than half the price and chuck it right into my regular drill. I can put it into a 12-volt drill. If I need it to be compact, I can put it in a full-size drill if I need the power, or if that's all I have. I can use it in a corded drill if that's what I got. It's got a flex extension. It's got a right angle extension. It's got the bit extension. It's got the handle for better control. $35. This is a one and done kind of solution. All right, next one. And I've talked about this on the channel for a while. These are, if you've got stationary tools, now I'm not talking table saws, but bench grinders, band saws, sanders, what do I use it the most on? I can't, it's going to come to me here. The foot pedal. The foot pedal is, I love using this thing on all of my kind of my stationary tools, except for the table saw, because it's a momentary switch. You step on it, and as long as you're standing on it, it's got power. You flip the switch on the tool. Don't leave the switch on, because then you're walking by, actually step on it, you turn the tool on. You turn the tool on, and you step on this, and it turns on. What that allows you to do is have two hands on the workpiece. All right, I first started using one of these when I rigged my portable bandsaw into a vertical jig, so I can use and made a table for it. So now I could do cuts with it and cutting metal stuff. You want to have two hands on that kind of thing. So I started using with that. I'm like, this is great. So I got one for my sander. Do you need it for your sander? No. Is the sander the most dangerous thing in the world? No, but it's sure easy to use when you've got that pedal down there, and I can have two hands on the workpiece and not have to worry about if I'm going to flip the switch on and off, while I'm doing it. And then, I'm like, well, I'm going to put this on my grinder too. And it's great on the grinder. Any kind of stuff like that is a great way to do this. All right. There's a reason they use foot switches with, welders and stuff, because that allows you that. I mean, your car's got a foot switch, right? So get for $12. This is going to really, because if it's really going to save you in that situation where, you've got to have two hands on it and you got to be safe. This is the way to go. All right. Next up. How many times have you been like looking at something, you think it's broken, you think there's a problem, but you got to take the whole thing apart to figure it out. And you're like, if I could just see what's going on inside, that's when you need an endoscope. And there's a couple different variations on this. This one will plug into your iPad. It's $30, $3 off right now. You just plug it in. It's got all these little accessories on it to hook things and to see at a right angle and to do all sorts of stuff. Great options there. I have a couple endoscopes. So the first one I bought was this one. Do not buy the wireless endoscopes. They're just a pain when you need to use them. You're sitting there, you're like, I want to get this done. Now I've got to sit there. I got to connect to my phone. Hold on, let me connect to my phone. Okay, it's not, why is it not sending? Is the light blinking? The light's blinking, blah, blah. It's a pain, and you don't need it to be wireless. You really don't. Just plug it into the darn phone. They have Android. There's an Android version also for this thing. And it's less expensive because it doesn't have the whole wireless thing built into it. There's no need for it to be wireless. In fact, if you're going to use it a bunch, get one of these. Finally got one. This one's $60, 10% off coupon takes it down to $54. If you're going to use it all the time, these things are great. They take a memory card. They can take a video. They can take a picture. You turn it on. You have the screen. You're there. You're working. It's awesome. Again, I will put a link to the wireless one because some people, they just, I want wireless. Fine. I'm not going to argue with you, but I am going to tell you, get the dedicated one or get the one that plugs into your phone. That's the last I'm going to say on this. All right. Next up, I've talked about headlamps a while on the channel. And because there's times when you're working at night and you can't be sitting there holding a flashlight and you're tired of yelling at your kids who are holding the flashlight wrong. We've all been there. Anyway, the doctor's visits afterwards are, therapy. It's expensive. So I talk up a lot about the Olight one where you take it, you put it on the brim of your hat, and now your handheld flashlight's a headlamp. Great solution. Here's the one downside with that. It's a spotlight, and if you're working on things that are metal or what have reflectors, you get this bright reflection back, and it makes it hard to see, which is why they make inspection lights and stuff like that that are a little bit dimmer. But my neighbor, and I've heard a lot of you have been saying, Jeff, you got to check this out. You got to check this out. And I haven't done it. My neighbor has one. He was working on his propane at night, and I saw him out there and went over and chatted with him. He's got one of these. And it's like having a stadium light on your forehead. The light pattern it's a monster. It just boom. And it's not super overly bright, like on a specific hot spot kind of thing. It just illuminates everything. And if you do need that spotlight, it's got it on the side as well. It's rechargeable. It comes with a case. It's $16. The technology just keeps getting better and better and better, doesn't it? You can get a 2-pack, so you can give it as a gift. Get one for yourself, get one for, Father's Day is coming up, dads and grads, who knows? Anyway, I'm a convert. All right. I get it. I get why these are so awesome now. I had to see it in real life for myself. So take my word, try it out. If you've got one, put it down in the comments so other people could read and tell them how great these things are, because they may not believe me. All right. And last but not least, another one I'm going to harp on, and that is the lifting table cart. I've said this for years. And if you go back on any of my videos about these, you will see people who are like, you know what, Jeff? I decided to try it. I went out and I bought one and I used it tonight, and oh my gosh, it's changed my world. Save your back. This is like having a small forklift in your shop is what it's like. It's not a forklift, but the ability, what you could do with this 500-pound, 1,000-pound, and honestly, how often are you going to be lifting 1,000 pounds? The benefit of the 1,000-pound cart is that it lifts higher than the 500-pound cart. I've switched over to the 1,000-pound cart. Also, the handle is hinged and folds flat, so you can put it fully under a bench or something, completely out of the way when you're not using it. Both of them are super sturdy, and I've used them. If you've seen my videos, this video right here, me fixing the Samsung washing machine. I can't believe it's got something like 80,000 views. But I used it in that to lift it up, get it out of the spot, get it out in the shop. And now I got it at a regular working height. I'm not bending over, breaking my back. I can sit there in my shop chair. I can spin it around. I can raise it up and down, all different angles. So much easier. So much easier. Getting stuff out of the back of your truck by yourself, it's a breeze now. Get one of these carts. And now if you don't have a Harbor Freight near you, now the cheap one's $250. Buying these online is not cheap. That's the problem, because they are heavy and the shipping is expensive. The best deal I was able to find online is this one right here from Best Equip. It's on Amazon. Again, we'll have links down below. It's $300. Basically, it's the 500-pound cart. 500-pound cart, 28.5 lift. It looks, as far as I can tell, to be the same, just in orange. You like the safety orange? There you go. I don't think it has the rubber mat, which is kind of a shame, because the rubber mat's nice. If you want rubber on it, you can get some Plastidip and just spray it on there. It'll probably do the same thing. Or you can get a rubber mat and get a doormat, put it on there. One of those rubber doormats, that would work. Anyway, you're paying $50, which is good. Which is honestly, on a lot of the ones that do have shipping, the shipping's $100. So that's actually going to save you versus the other ones that are more expensive. If there's not a Harbor Freight near you, that's your option. Anyway, those are your get out of jail free tools. Other than the obvious stuff like bolt biters and whatnot we talked about before, if you have a solution that is a tool you think people should have in their shop, put it down below. The best one I will pin to the top, all right? Anyway, don't forget to chomp the old like button, smash that subscribe, ring the bell on your way out. You all take care, God bless, and as always, shine on. And since I know someone's going to ask about this as a bonus item, let's talk about the extending breaker bar. This is from Harbor Freight. It's the Quinn extending breaker bar. And yeah, it's practically a lightsaber. Look at that. This is great. It's spring-loaded. Little bobblehead action there. Lock it in place. Does what you want. And then you've got... I've showed a whole video on this, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. It's got these little retention divots, so you can lock it at various places along it. So, anyway, that's a great one. I found tons and tons of uses for this. It extends from 16 to 24 3/4. Anyway, honestly, was just using it recently as a hammer. Why? Because it's solid.